Happy Friday, everybody. It is Friday, January 10th, 2025. Kurt Thompson here with Trumpet Champions, Trumpet Sizzle, and we're just doing a final shout out and thank you to all the people that had got involved in the two different GoFundMe fundraisers. And without further ado, I'm just going to read everybody's name out unless they mark themselves anonymous. Now, the funny thing about that is I actually see their name and I don't know they're anonymous until I go on the site and view it as if you're viewing it, and then it would say anonymous. So I have to kind of go slow in some of it. I don't want to give out people's name if they really wanted to remain anonymous. In no particular order. In fact, I'll start off with Bill Miller because although he didn't send in a donation on the GoFundMe site itself, what he did was he sent a Alan Bazzuti Yamaha Custom Artist Series trumpet that he told me was worth around $3,500. Based on my data and research, it appears the horn could be worth upwards close to $5,000 because they don't make them anymore. They didn't make many to begin with. And the ones that I see for sale, there's one that's gold plated. It's almost $7,000 on eBay. And then there's the suggested retail value by Yamaha for the first generation of the Alan Bazzuti models, which is around $6,700. So I just have to assume that a used one in this pristine mint condition would have to be closer to $5,000. But anyway, we'll see. So we'll start off with Bill Miller. Now, you won't see him on the GoFundMe fundraisers, either the trumpet one I did originally or the Johnny Carson, Doc Severinsen tribute one, the one that we just finished. But we do have to mention him because he did send a trumpet that appears to be valued at right around $5,000. So thank you very much, Bill, for that and your generosity. And because of that, and because I told you in advance that if you made some larger, hefty donations, that I would do everything that is possible for me to get and perform this in or near your city. That means I will be making one of the performances as much as I'm able to in the Utah area where Bill lives. And you'll get more information about that performance. It might be there at Utah Tech, or it could be somewhere in the surrounding vicinity. And it looks like it probably is going to be, we'll try to time it when all the snowbirds get there, because that's the demographic that we're going to be trying to reach anyway. So probably in the fall of this year, I would say October, November, maybe December, somewhere right around there is when I'm going to try to get that performance. And as I promised, I will do that. If you made a hefty donation, I'll bring the performance to you as best as I can. So thank you, Bill Miller, very much. If you're looking on the Johnny Carson one and you go, oh, I don't see that person. Well, they may have contributed on the Stolen Trumpet GoFundMe, which was the first one that I did in December. So Kevin Gardner, thank you, Kevin, very much for your donation. Carlton Atkins, thank you very much, Carlton. Now here's the guy that donated a hefty amount on the second fundraiser. I believe he's in northern Kentucky, not too far from where I used to have to go and do my Broadway shows up in Cincinnati. So one of the performances will have to be in that area. Could be Cincinnati, but it might be at a college in northern Kentucky. So anyway, one of them will have to be there as well. Thank you, Carlton, very much for your donation. Brad Slane, thank you very much for your donation. Another pretty decently sized donation. Really appreciate your generosity, Brad. Thank you very much. Moving on, Travis Carney. Now, originally, if you look at the GoFundMe, it'll say $5,000 donation anonymous. And I didn't realize Travis had made his donation anonymous, and I actually, or accidentally mentioned his name before, so I had a talk with him via email. It appears he's okay with me mentioning his name. So anyway, he's okay with that. So Travis Carney made a tremendous, in the words of Donald Trump, donation in excess of $5,000. You can see that on the second fundraiser. And he said he's not too far from the Burbank area in California, which means there's our third performance. Are you getting it now, folks? So one of the performances will have to be in the Burbank, LA area, because that's not too far from where Travis is at. So now you know where at least 3 of the performances will be. They're not all going to be in Texas. So right now, if you're counting, we have one in St. George, Utah. We have one near Louisville, Kentucky, and we have one, because of Travis, that's going to be in the Burbank, LA area. So we already know where 3 of the performances are going to be. The remainder probably will be near me in Texas. So let's keep going. Philip Hammond, thank you very, very much for your generosity. Now, Philip actually got one of the deals that I had going on the website, and that reminds me, dang it, I haven't changed all the prices back. I changed the website, but now I didn't change the price. So if you're watching this and I haven't got to it, it's on my to-do list. The holiday discounted prices are still there on the courses and some of the other stuff. But I should have changed them. I just haven't. That tells you I just haven't had time. I mean, I don't want to keep those going, but those discounts are still there. I'm going to get them changed soon. So if you were in the market for developing your plane or getting a practice device or anything like that, or some lessons with me, the bargain prices are still there, but they should have been changed. That's on me. I'm going to change them as soon as I'm able to, but the discounts are still there. So anyway, Philip took advantage of some of the courses. We applied that as a donation for the fundraiser. So thank you very much, Philip, for your generosity, Philip. Bill and Kathy Pierce, they also they took advantage of some of the lessons and course specials that I had on Trumpet Sizzle, and that again turned into a donation for the Trumpet Champions. So thank you, Bill and Kathy Pierce. I appreciate it. Greg Lundquist, thank you for your generosity. Channing Ledbetter, thank you for your generosity. Thanks very much for doing the extra and actually making a donation. Really appreciate it. And then we have some anonymous and some anonymous. Lots of anonymous donations. That's okay with me. And this is the first year since 2020. Now I started this in 2020, these fundraisers, and we didn't do any fundraisers in 2023. But this is the first year that my mom and dad, that I can remember, I don't think they contributed before. So both my mom and dad have made decent contributions. So thanks for my mom and dad for doing that. I haven't really had an in-depth conversation with them about it, although I explained everything about the fundraiser. But I believe what they see is this is really going to happen. They see that I'm fundraising for the equipment so I can get out there and do it and start by myself. We won't have the big band, nothing like that. But they see that I'm fundraising for the equipment to actually make this happen, make the performances happen. I think that's why they decided to go ahead and make a decent contribution. So anyway, thanks Mom and Dad for doing that. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. No, we got more to go. So we got more to go here. If I get done and you go, wait a minute, he didn't mention my name. I made a donation. Then let me know. Don't sit there crying your beer or your soup. Think I did it on purpose. I don't do stuff like that on purpose. If for some reason I missed you, heck, I'll make a special video just for you if I actually missed you. So there you go. Email me if you made a donation and somehow you slipped out. I will make sure that you get a shout out. I believe everybody that goes the extra mile and does something extra like this deserves a little recognition. So let me know if I missed it. But we're going to continue on, and we have some anonymous donors here that I have their name, so I have to be careful not to mention their name. But here we go. We got Dom Parisi. Now, Dom has been a part of every fundraiser that I've done, and I think if we added it all up, maybe he's over $1,000 in contributions since 2020. So I really appreciate your generosity, Dom. And of course, we've had good talks on the phone during lessons and things like that. So anyway, thank you so much, Don. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Dom. We'll move on to, let me make sure I can say his name. I cannot. So this is, I know who this is, the student that just recently graduated the course last year. And he lives way, way up where it's really cold. Like he said, it gets down to 60 below sometimes, 60 degrees below zero where he lives in Alaska. So thank you, and I'll leave it as anonymous because that's how you originally wanted it. And we have another anonymous person, but I know who he is. He just recently graduated the course also last year. And he holds the distinction of being one of, out of maybe 1,000 or more that I've taught since 2009, of being able to do the tuba Bud Brisbois mouthpiece. And he put his money where his mouth was by actually demonstrating that in his review video. So I won't mention his name because he wanted to be anonymous, but I know who he is. And anyway, thank you for your contribution and doing the extra there. I appreciate it. Let's see, moving on, we had several anonymous. We had another, actually Travis Carney not only made that big contribution, but he actually made another contribution at the very end to bring us right over to our goal of 7,500. So I got to say thank you again to Travis, because he made the hefty donation that got us like down to the 5-yard line. And then we had some more come in, and then at the very end, he made the last donation to put us right at 7,500. So I got to give another shout out to Travis Carney. So he's really instrumental in us achieving this goal this time around. Let's see. I believe that covers it all, folks. Is there anybody that I missed? I don't think so. And then I don't need to keep repeating anonymous, right? You'll see a lot of anonymous. So thank you for anonymous, and several anonymous. Thank you for all that, and I really appreciate everybody's support. Now remember, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm happy that we achieved this goal. If you look at the fundraiser, you'll see the goal, and what we're going to be doing is buying the equipment that will allow me to do this presentation, both video and the audio, the speakers, the laptop that will power it, all this kind of stuff. But little old me only on this. Originally, I had set it at 20,000 because I wanted to be able to, have some musicians and some other things. So this covers kind of like the bare essentials for me to get this going, and that's fine. But we are going to need some hefty funding if we would like to really get this off on stage with a small big band, or even kind of like the group I was thinking of in 2022, the last fundraiser, scale it down to maybe 7 or 8 people. So, and that would allow us not to rely so much on the backing tracks and the sound equipment. But anyway, that's where we're at today. It's going to be me. I'm going to have the funds to get the equipment. I would like to have at least a tenor sax join me on some of the solos. That way it's just not just me playing trumpet and then the backing track, the solos on the backing track. We can at least bring out some of the solos live with the tenor sax, because those solos, a lot of them are tenor sax solos. If you watch some of Doc Severinson's performances on Johnny Carson, when he's playing his horn and he's taking his break, all of a sudden, what's that guy's name now? Is it Pete Lieb, or what is his name? Chris Pete Lieb? I don't know. I can't remember his name, but he's the one that's the tenor sax that gets a lot of the solos from the Tonight Show. What is his name? Chris Lieb, Pete Lieb? Anyway, I can't remember. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. That's already on the track, because, if I don't have anybody, that's just already pre-recorded. That is a stem that I believe we can take out. We can mute that if I have a tenor sax that can join me on these performances that can actually play those solos. So that would be kind of nice, just to have somebody else up there. We'll see. That would mean that I would really need to find some bargains on what I'm trying to get for as far as equipment. So I can't sacrifice the quality, but maybe if I can get a really good deal on some of this stuff, that would leave a little left over to be able to accommodate a tenor sax. So anyway, if you're seeing the light changes, because we're finally getting some sun happening. Here it's cold and rainy. We didn't get the snow, but we definitely got the Arctic freeze. Then now the clouds are parting. I see a little sun action coming in through the window. So anyway, it's just kind of nice to see the sun come in. Can I spin this around? Maybe it's going to probably take everything out, but you'll just see it's just nice. We've got some sun. It's been cloudy and cold. Look at that. Look at that. It's Friday afternoon. See? So anyway, that probably messed up my shot here. Let me see if I can get the tripod back where it's supposed to. There we go. I just thought maybe you'd be interested in seeing that. Let me see if I can get it back here, guys. Or maybe I'll edit that part out. Okay, so we're kind of there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and actually I might put some of these guys' names up in the corner here of the video screen if I have the time, or we might just leave it as it is. Anyway, thank you all who contributed to both fundraisers, and some of you really dug deep Remember in church where they say, don't just give, but give until it hurts? So I think some people here, in between these two fundraisers, I think some people gave until it hurts, because we really had some heavy hitters. That's appreciated, and that is what is going to allow me to get out and get this thing going so we can all have some fun and plus be doing the world some good. And if you don't know what I mean by that, go to the fundraiser. I'll probably have the link. The fundraiser is so active, but go there and you'll see why we're doing this. What is the reason that we're doing this to begin with? And hope we have a great year, 2025. Thanks again for all the supporters. We're still going to need more support, but thanks for now. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.